Alright, here we go. US, Russia. So Russia didn't really do much. I mean, they took the guy here. Um, you know, they didn't lose any units. They got the 2 up here. So that's how they manage that. That's fine. Um, they've got 13-9 here. I've got 6 infantry, 15 tanks, and 5 planes that can hit them. He's got 3 transports in here, so 3 of these guys can hit either one of these 2. He's got these 4 too that can hit France, so I'm going to go for the 4th round VC win, and we're going to see if we can pull this off. It's going to depend on me coming back and taking Philippines too. So, buying 16 infantry here. I want one of my fighters to come back to Berlin to help protect it. Based on, I just want to double check. I did do this. U.S. has nothing that can hit, it's just the Americans. 10 infantry, 1 fighter gives him a 1.5% chance on Berlin. So I'm okay with that. If we can end my misery of this game. So we're going to have 1 fighter that can go back. The rest are going to go ahead and go in there, and we'll go ahead and take that with that guy. That's going to beat it on our attacks. Let's see. We should get about 10 hits to about 7 hits, I want to say, something like that. Does that sound about right? You should get about 7 hits. I should get about 10 hits, I believe. Nine, okay. To 8, of course. So let's see, that leaves 4, 9, 13, 4. We're still on the positive. Let's finish this. Come on. There we go. There we go. I'll take it. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to be able to protect Corellia. So we're not going to get the VC win this turn if he wants to be persistent. Maybe he'll forfeit after this, though. Ah. Oh. I'm giving them more of the chance on France. I'd rather it be over there. gonna put them over here for in case he does take France, so we can look at round 5. Okay, so UK went for Corellia, and I got by the skin of my teeth. Perhaps if he had been willing to sacrifice fighters, he may have actually taken it. Um, he got good dice. I mean, it was a risky battle I was putting up there to begin with, but still was better than average dice. Almost lost it. He probably could have took it if he would have just crashed a fighter, which would have saved him from losing by Victory City, as we're hoping to do. So we're going to hopefully take the Philippines, make it 9 out of 9, and then hopefully our 11 units can defend against these 8 plus carrot cruiser coming in. It's like a 9% chance there. So odds are favorable. We shall see. This has been a messy game. Many mistakes by me. Actually, my brilliant mind was thinking I was going to have 4 infantry in there, the 2 that I sent over here. You know, I just, after the UK won, I just assumed this game was won, and it should be, but I can't believe how many just really dumb mistakes I made. I'm glad I wasn't playing a top 10 player because I probably would have gotten punished really badly. But anyways, purchase, getting the 6th Infantry for my ground or my mainland factories, and then we're getting a couple transports to start trying to transport people off, and a destroyer because he does have a sub-destroyer going here, so we want to be prepared to be able to manage those. So hopefully we should have pretty good odds on this, so that I'm even going to use the bomber on the land. I know all things say I should take an artillery instead of tank, let the tank come, second tank come through here to help run through, but tanks give slightly better odds. An infantry tank has just very slightly better odds than an infantry artillery, and at this point I'm just trying to not lose this game. As sad as that is to say. But why that would be poor, but I feel pretty good about it. That's strong. 9, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 bombers. Hoping I can win this game out. This is not a game I'm going to hang my hat on. Oh boy. Six versus 6. Oh, good gracious. Come on. Are you kidding me? Oh no, don't tell me this is... It's kind of... I'm just going to stop right now. Okay. I guess I just gotta find the sense of humor in this somewhere. This is just so ugly. of a game. I cannot believe this. So I lost my transport because the sub hit and had no other ships. And the whole dice was just ridiculous. I just want to rage quit, but I'm not. I got to use my brain for a moment. I built two transports and a destroyer, which I was planning on using to transport these units in. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to put him here because he's gonna have enough boats, enough left over to kill whatever I do. So I'm gonna have to look at putting him in India, which he still can reach. Well, it doesn't even matter because I'm not gonna kill his boats, and there's nothing I can do. Oh, this is so disgusting. Came and put him in here as a block. Two. There's just nothing I can do to salvage these boats. This is just the most unbelievable, ridiculous game that I can goof up and lose still because Japan's just got nothing. Everything I just built's going to get wiped out. I mean, he's got nothing else to attack Japan with for what it's worth. But, oh my goodness. Can I just end this stinking game? So, I think I want to try to kill the carrier. I mean, I might as well just kill the rest of my Japan Air Force. What the heck? Why not? Because I really want to get the carrier out of this. Lost my German Air Force because I was going for the Victory City. Finally, some hits. If only one of them could have lived, I would have gone for the battleship too. Good lord. Oh, and my bomber has to continue. Well, hopefully I can kill the man so he can't transport. Of course he hit. Of course he hit. So, I built 3 boats. He's only got 2 that can reach me, so I can space him out. So, I mean, of course, I assume he's going to kill the 2 transports and leave the destroyer living. There's no way I can keep the transport alive. There's no way I can keep him from killing both transports anywhere that I can see. That is just the dumbest thing. I still got a way advantage in this game, but this is just the dumbest thing. Nothing we can do because he's 2. He can go through 61. He can go through 60. He can get to 35. There's nowhere I can put him that he can't kill me at. The only thing I can do is there's nothing I can do. I can put them all down here to make them bring these ships this way so they aren't meeting these guys. What's our income look like? 38 to 41. I mean, he could turn this into a KJF if he wanted to. So at least send one of send his sub that way. And send the battleship that way and nothing that way if he wants to transport. So spread out his boats as much as possible. All right, there we go. Okay, my ranting and complaining, I believe, are done. We're ready to move forward at the game. It's just frustrating because this game should be over. Um, if I hadn't made just dumb mistakes throughout, and then dice weren't killing me. But I mean, the game's won still for myself as Axis. It's just going to take a while, so we're going to just start playing smart. And so we got a two-system bit here. Of course, we got the Atlantic battle in Germany. And over here, now he built a factory down in Philippines, so that's going to make it a pain in the butt as he brings his battleship and his sub. Potentially these two guys, plus builds 3 boats there. It's going to get annoying, but the reality is Japan can build 8 boats at a time right here. He can build 3 boats at a time. And, you know, on his US-4, he went ahead and bought the complex and was building ground units for over here. The US doesn't have the money to battle Japan and the Navy and be building units here and keep attacking Germany. They can only do one or the other, and so he's splitting himself up too much here. This is one of these rare times where I'm actually going to intentionally divide the income fairly equally between Japan and Germany, because there's just, you know, there's 2 fronts and I can dominate them both. So just going to do it rather than have one power take all the power. So, you know, when we look at the sheets here, basically Japan needs to fight US. They're not going to see UK or Russia, so Japan's got 38 income, US has 44 income. Okay, so if I just go ahead and let Japan take these 4, there's 5, that takes them up to 43. We're also going to take this guy at least 44, and then Japan and Germany are going to split Africa up ultimately in all likelihood. So Japan's sitting at 44 plus, US is sitting at 44. Japan can match them. Eventually I will overpower them and I'll take this. It's just going to take a couple rounds, unfortunately. So that leaves Germany and the UK. Germany's got income of 52, UK got income of 29, and that's going to shrink as we start taking Africa over the next few turns. So I just need to play smart and just play it out, play the game out. So Germany had 71 IPC, so primarily we're just going to start investing in those infantry and artillery to lock down. They just need to lock down these 4 cities in the end, right? For the VC win. Allies can't get into Moscow. I mean, they got to go through these cities or through Japan, and you know they're not going to get through Japan. So we just need to load these guys up with ground, get some units going down here to Africa, and we'll be fine. Meanwhile, I do want to start building up some Air Force again. I'm going to be more on the I'm going to go bombers here and there, and take them that way. So 19 ground, 13 here, 15. I can put 4 down here. I can put my bomber here. He can still reach France. I was thinking about going 4 less ground and having a second bomber, but I want to go ahead and get a little expeditionary force that we're going to go down to Africa just to help secure Africa ultimately, because the Japan troops ultimately are going to come back, and just be prepared to help secure the shores on this side. So the game may turn into a little bit longer, but it should be a straightforward win for me ultimately. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and leave those for Japan. Um, we'll let them have them. There really is no attack as a result for Germany. I was going to blitz a tank through there, but we're just going to let the Japan march in there. We're going to move our stuff back up this way. I'm going to give him a battle he can win in Baltic, but it would be at an IPC favorable value for me, plus it would require him to take these transports out of sync from going back to the US. So his call. I'm not too frightened. But yeah, we don't really have anything that we can attack, nothing that we can do offensively. We're going to stack Karelia. We're going to give up France for a couple turns just to get a wave of infantry up here to Karelia. I suspect he may go back to just dumping everything into France. That's fine. I'll have enough to counter anything he comes there. We'll get a wave up here, secure Karelia, and then come back and secure France. So that's the plan. Like I said, no attacks, so we're just going to skip it. How often do you see Germany not doing any attacks? Kind of crazy, right? I am going to take one of those tanks south. There you go. All right, Japan 5. So, surprising, not so surprising. Like I said, he came and retook the sides over here, which is fine. We got plenty of re-attack force, so I'm not worried about that. Even when he dumps all his Americans back in here, that's fine. We'll be okay. So, feel pretty good about that. Let's see, what did he build? I didn't even look at that. So he bought a fighter, 4 infantries, 2 artilleries. So keeping 6 units there, getting another fighter on board. So now you can use 4 fighters to attack. We'll be alright. So let's see. He did the France. He did Northwest Europe. That was it. So that's where he's at. We are over here in Japan. So of course he's got this guy. Let's see. He's got, I think, 40. So he's got 44 IPC remaining. So let's see. That's battleship and 2 cruisers. He could build there's probably the biggest defense he could put in 3 units and bring this battleship. So he'd have 2 battleships and 2 cruisers sitting there. And he'll be able to bring that sub. So 2 battleships, 2 cruisers, and a sub. Let's see. I imagine that'll be enough to have the odds against what I'm going to build, but in the long run, he can only be putting 3 at a time. I'm going to be building bigger. Yeah, he's going to have the defenses, so I'm just going to be going into a build battle. So I don't need to worry about my land. There's no threat on land except for Egypt, and Germany's going to be filtering in there, and these last couple Russian guys, so we'll take care of them hopefully this turn. This guy's got to get people and get back, and so he's not really a worrisome target yet. So I'm going to build a destroyer, 5 subs with my 38 IPC, and we're hopefully going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 IPC, so that we'll have 44 next turn as well, and then we're just going to be building, except for I got more unit spots, he can only build 3 spots at a time. So That's our build. Do want to maximally get everything I can, so we're going to do that. That actually. That. I am going to go ahead and use one, and I know this isn't a perfect battle. Slight advantage for me though, so we're going to go for it. Oh, don't want to forget this down here. Let's finish off the Russians, so there's one less turn we have to worry about. Ugh, of course he did. This is just... Alright, okay, not going there. We're just going to retreat. I'm not going to get all whiny and complaining again. So hard not to, though. So hard not to. Make sure we're not on submerge. Defense sub fight. Okay. There we go. Alright, so as expected, his U.S. troops landed down here into France. I was kind of hoping he'd drag these guys down too. He didn't, smartly. Let's see, what did he buy for the U.S.? He bought a carrier and 3 fighters. Oh yeah, sorry, Pacific. So he put carrier, put 2 fighters down here, 1 fighter down here in the west. So again, he did use his battleship destroyer sub. It got better than average results. Theoretically, I should have won that battle with his battleship dying and me having 2 destroyers, 2 subs left. Dice again were not on my favor. The downside, now he does have the ability to get his transport right over to Borneo. 2 destroyers and a sub is 50% odds if I take the destroyers first at killing both the carrier and sub. So only so there. I'm going to have to figure out, depending on what we do there, I really want to try to have a transport build so that we can counter and take Borneo back when he takes Borneo with the 1 infantry. That'll be a challenge, of course, but we'll deal with that on Japan's turn. Right now, we do got Germany's turn. I do think I'm going to bring this bomber. I'd like to bring this bomber down here to help kill off the transport when it comes to Borneo at the very least, or be able to kill, little things, take piece shots, or even bomb the factories, make these costly to build on at the very least. So I think I'm going to be bringing him on down this way instead of using him in the battle. That'll let him be able to be ready to strike anything that gets in the way over here as well. I do want to continue to slowly build bombers as Germany. In essence, I'm kind of looking at this as a late game KJF, and late game KJF, we want a bomber air force eventually that can either push this side or push this side. Obviously, this side is going to be the weaker side, so I want to keep bringing in bombers and bringing in boats so that we can overwhelm him on this side and eventually take the Philippines. Meanwhile, we just got to play for the long game. So other than that, we're just going to build infantry and artillery. He put his AA in here. I'm just going to stack massacre France, and I think I'll have enough. I say this, assuming dice go decently enough, I will have enough to stack and hold France. So hopefully it goes well. We're still going to take a pot shot at Northwest Europe just because I don't like having them there. Maybe, maybe not. It wins. Not critical, although we would like those two IPC back. So that's the plan. We're going to be building 10 here. We're going to pull all my tanks back, stack my infantry up over here. And so we'll have Karelia and France stacked, Karelia, Berlin, and France stacked at the end of this turn. I wish I could go ahead and take a shot at Egypt, but that just would be silly right now. Any of these other ones would be silly, especially since I want to bring him down this way. So we're just not going to use the bomber this turn. All right, I think that's it. All right. Is that a clean kill in the first shot? Nice. So that's stacked. Two hits, nice. I got the two hits. Bummer. But, oh well. And there we go. Alright. UK, they built a fighter, and these land guys just landed in Northwest Europe. Not really sure the point of landing fighters. And he had one more fighter he could have landed. Even if he brings all four transports, bringing these 8 guys, and these 3 transports go grab these 5 guys, he can't get that guy, but grab these 5 guys and come back, or he could sacrifice, I guess, a transport to grab him and drop him in Northwest. Even if they dropped all 6 of these guys, all 8 of these guys, and the 2 fighters of US into here, Germany can still just stack battle, wipe whatever he puts in here. So these fighters are doomed to die, so I don't really understand putting them there. But I mean, I know he's just trying to go for trading with Germany, but I'm just swing everything over there, give him France next time, and then swing everything back and kill it efficiently. So this is the more interesting problem I'm running into. So these 2 destroyers and a sub, if I attack and he has carrier go before fighters, then I have like a 57% chance of killing the carrier and sub, which would make the fighters land. which then would let me be able to drop a transport here to take back Borneo or potentially Philippines next turn. However, if he has fighters go first, then it's a much less chance that I will be able to kill the whole group of 4. So we're gonna take the risk. I know I shouldn't do this. I'm building a transport out of hope that we get the carrier down, and that I don't even care if we kill the fighters. The fighters can just land in the Philippines. That's fine. But we'll see. I'm debating. Maybe it'd be smarter just to wait a turn and build the transport the following turn. That might be the smarter way to go. But right now I'm just going to go ahead and try going with it and see if we can take something back next turn. And we'll build 6 subs. And, whatever he builds 3 here of still be better, although he'll be in the battleship. It's going to get... This is just going to be... Unfortunately, it's going to take a while. I'm going to win this easily. We're going to get Africa, and eventually we'll be able to take this. It's just... Unfortunately, the game's going to take much longer than it should have to take. So, I'm going to take the risk. I probably should just build 7 warships is a smart thing to do. Or build a plane in there. Take a sub away and do a bomber with the 5 subs or something like that. But we're just going to go for it. The Emperor's Fallacy. My luck has got to change on my rolls up here, right? Possible. Let's see what he's got for a defense profile. And we could use that to roll right here. I was hoping to have this sub get one more shot. 3 out of 4 hits. Gosh. There goes that transport. I'm gonna let the Germans come finish him off so we can have a tank still to blitz. Sure, we set these guys to submerge. Sure, we got it set double submerge, submerge, submerge. Good. So I am going to throw my fighter up here, or my destroyer up here, because rather than here, because this means he could go 1, 2, 3, 4 and land in Borneo. Just send the fighter up here, have to go 1, 2, and then come back, or have to send the battleship there. So his carrier, which he doesn't really just leave his battleship sitting by itself with 6 subs here. Um, so his carrier is probably going to sit still here, which means this transport's going to come here, and I can at least pick off the transport with the German bomber. Some smart strategy, I think, in a game that's not been so smart by me. Anyways, there we go. All right, moving on to Germany 7 here. Um, so Russia's out of it, so it's just a U.S. turn. So U.S. They bought 2 destroyers, 4 artilleries, 4 infantry. They killed the transport up here in season 62 using the fighter, which again made him have to keep his carrier here, and he moved his battleship non-combat over into the section, which is fine. He put the artillery there. I don't know if he thought he was going to be able to pick up infantry, artillery, and attack somewhere, but my bomber is going to take out his transport this turn, which is the whole reason I put that transport in 62, so that he couldn't cover up the transport at all, if he wanted to kill the transport without using his battleship and sacrificing it. So little chess move there just to make sure that we kill the transport. Yes, he's got this point over here, so now U.S. is at 48, Japan is at 40. The Germany is going to open up this area. Russia's going to, I mean, Japan's going to be coming in, and we're going to be gathering up points, but we're going to be a little bit behind in the negative. But what U.S. is going to realize pretty quickly is they can't build here and here. He's not going to be able to keep putting units on the East Coast to be helping on this side if he's going to be attacking Japan too. He's just at a negative. And we'll cover Japan's strategy next turn a little bit more. I could have played the last few turns better, obviously. I was trying to get a quick win and just get the game over with, but this is still salvageable. So, any case, we're focused on Germany now. I am going to continue to build a bomber a turn, just because these bombers are going to be helpful in the long run, just like the one is this turn. And we're going to go from there. So, again, I don't like this tactic of putting his fighters in here. Sure, trade heavy, okay, possibly. But the fact is I just going to be able to stack swing here and kill 4 fighters. I don't care if I give back up France next turn. All he's got coming is 6 units, because he only had 3 transports, 6 units and a couple of fighters that he can bring back into France next turn, because, like we said, he's missing a turn of being able to grab units. Well, I guess that's not entirely true. He could come back up here and grab these guys as well, but I'm going to have enough ground here. It doesn't matter. He can bring whatever he wants. I'm still going to be beating him. So not super worried about this front at all. I do need to be mindful of he can 1-2 Berlin, as well as 1-2 France, as well as 1-2 Karelia. So, we got to make sure our stacks reflect that, and not give him any extra opportunity, especially Berlin, obviously. So I plan on having 10 infantry coming here, going to leave 5 tanks here, and I'll have my fighter here. This guy will be able to move up too, so we'll actually have 11 infantry. We'll have more than enough coverage for Berlin. So, so the rest of the way, I'm going to be buying land. I'm going to still put 2 up here in Karelia, because I'm going to start creeping some troops, German troops, down towards the southeast just in case. So we'll start doing that. But right now we're going to be focusing. We'll continue here. We're going to go ahead and challenge his troops a little bit up here. We'll weed these guys down. So first things first, just gonna make sure that we take care of that transport. Gotta make sure we take care of Egypt. Because I'm in the advantage, normally I'm not a big fan of Germany going in here, but because I'm in advantage, I'm going to go ahead and start trading off in there. Oh, the lag. There we go. Check, not forgetting anything. Silly mistakes. I like to just take care of him in one shot, one round here. Alright, right off the bat. Alright. We didn't need the bomber. Wait, that's a lot more hits than should have happened. I'm gonna be really upset that his strategy works. I still got enough to defend, I believe. Stack. So I'm gonna go back and I'll run, double check that that's enough for this stack. I don't need to move the another couple tanks in because I was playing conservative with Germany. So next turn around I'll be able to bomb the factory and even make that more inefficient. Hopefully make that more inefficient. So that's gonna be the turn right now. The only thing I'm just gonna double check. I'm just gonna double check my numbers on Northwest Europe. I believe I should be fine. Berlin. And in here, make sure I'm not missing anything. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here because there's no reason for y'all to wait for me. Alright, so here we go. UK 7. He bought 3 infantry, 3 artillery, and a fighter for his UK up there. He went ahead and decided to attack Germany. The results ended up being right on average, which is costly for him. I killed 4 of my infantry. He lost 3 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 fighters. Don't really I don't agree with the attack, but you know, it kind of shows a little bit of desperation. The combined attack of them and U.S. was like a 0.3% chance of taking Berlin. So, you know, I understand if he's starting to feel desperation, perhaps. But in any case, the interesting part is, okay, what are we going to do over here? So the good news is I'm finally going to show some patience and not take this attack here and hope for the best. And we're just going to sit here and build battle with him for the time being. So I wanted to take a slide I had from one of my other videos if you hadn't seen it. And this is talking about defense power, attack power, total attack power, total defense power that I've done in the past. Um, I'd recommend going back. This is from my video, round 1, part 1, Discord 26. Go ahead and check it out. It's at the 22-minute mark or somewhere thereabouts. I kind of talk about this. At some point, I'm going to go into some more detail, but at the bottom of this is this total defense strength concept. It weighs in both the power and the hit points that different units give you, and then I divided that by the cost of purchase to purchase a unit. Sorry, had a little glitch in the recording there, but just continuing on. So this here gives me total defense strength divided by cost. So how efficient are we spending our money? And this just goes to show that a carrier with 2 fighters that are already built that can land on that carrier gives me the best total defense strength for money spent. And the next best would be a carrier with 1 pre-built and building 1 fighter. And then, in this current game, I have no fighters left for Japan, so I have no pre-built fighters. So I would have to build 2 fighters from scratch with the carrier, which you can see falls below the sub and destroyer here in the total efficiency of money spent for defense strength. So right now we're looking at sub and destroyer are pretty equal on total defense strength, but let's talk about total attack strength, because ultimately that's what I want this fleet to do, is to wipe out his American fleet. So total attack strength would be attack power plus 2 times the hit points. So their hit points are going to stay the same in all these cases. So these aren't going to change. But the sub attack power is going to be 2. Destroyer stays at 2. So now the total attack strength for the sub will be 4 divided by 6 costs, or 0.67. So the sub is a better attack per IPC value and an equal defense IPC per value by this graph. And again, this whole formula, it's not 100% flaw proof, but it's pretty darn good, and it's something that's worth exploring for determining your attack strength and defense strength, especially to avoid having to use calculators. But just to prove that this is what I say it is, we're going to take this example. We're going to take this the game advanced because of the glitch. I thought I was recording earlier and it wasn't recording. But in any case, what he had there was 2 destroyers, a carrier, a battleship, and 2 fighters. So I wanted to take this concept of, okay, so which is better, destroyers or subs? So if we had 48 IPC, which I do not have 48, but just say I had 48 IPC to spend, I could buy 6 destroyers at 8 or 8 subs at 6. So I decided to look at, what if I bought 6 destroyers and later tried to attack into his fleet there? There is a 4.8% chance of me winning and a 94% chance that they survive. Well, let's take a look at 8 subs attacking into that same fleet, and look at that. Attacker survives 55.5% of the time. He survives 100% of the time because his fighters are going to live, but there's a essentially 56% chance I kill all his boats and his fighters have to land on land, and that's a victory. So 56 is significantly better than that 4.8. But what about the defense? So if we're defending versus them attacking, because I got to build it and then they could attack me. So what if they attacked with that and I'm defending? So here I have a 10.3% chance of surviving if it was just the 6 destroyers that I built versus what he had there, which is a fairly balanced kind of fleet there. Whereas if we looked at 8 subs in defense, he's going to want to take destroyer last because of the fighters and the fact that I got a bunch of subs, and you'll see I now have an 18% chance of surviving. So the 8 subs outperforms the 6 destroyers both in defense and an attack of this kind of mixed fleet here. So just something to take consideration. I invite you playing and digging into all that stuff. We could switch this up and find an equivalent units of battleships or equivalent set of carriers and destroyers, you know, and whatnot. And in other cases, it may be that the carrier fighters, they have added values that the fighters could land on land and fight the land battle as well. Well, there is no land battle, so this really boiled down to it only made sense for me to build subs. So in my Japan turn, I did just build the subs. I didn't really. I think I did just move um, my guy down here. Reason being is I did the turn by turn. I'm going to get more IPC by having him go through Southern Africa than it was for me to go ahead and grab the one here. And even after the end of my turn, I still have 42 IPC, so I can build 7 subs again next turn if I wanted to. So that was pretty much it for the Japan turn. Um, and I just kind of started moving people back in. I put one infantry to protect the bomber in case he wanted to fly and attack the bomber, which he did not. So U.S., I think I covered this earlier. They're having this kind of schizophrenia complex because they went 2 oceans. Now they can't really build in both. So they bought 2 fighters, 4 infantry, 4 artillery. They left one of their destroyers back, moved the rest back here to destroyer block away from my subs, and just built the 2 fighters where they can build a carrier next turn is where they're going at with it. And meanwhile, they built infantry and artillery over here, used his other transports to also attack into Berlin, and again, he attacked into there. He killed 3 more of my infantry. He lost 3 infantry to artillery. So again, just a winning battle for me. He had his fighters at risk too. He's lucky he didn't lose those, lose a fighter or 2 as well. So now he built these guys. This transport next turn is going to come to France or up here. He can move them up to Canada. These transports are now out of place, so he can't even pick them up. So this build is just a wasted turn build where he just fell behind in the build battle over in the Pacific. So now, since he moved over that way, this is what I'm now looking at. I got my 13 subs there, sitting in C Zone 60. So I'll give you a second. What do you think I'm going to do? I'll give you 10 seconds. Not even 10 seconds. I'll give you 5 seconds. You can pause the video if you want to just think about this. I don't think a lot of you, it's probably not going to take too long, because the whole reason I put these German bombers here is to be able to attack here. So Germany now, I'm absolutely going to take out this destroyer, and that's going to free my 13 subs to be able to come over here. And yes, you can believe 13 subs is going to wipe them out. So I'm going to be that much closer to preparing to invade Philippines, although he's probably going to build more fighters and infantry. So I'm going to have to build multiple transports and support troops to be able to do it, while still balancing out building enough subs to dead zone his Philippines. So it's still going to take me a few turns, but you can see the writings on the wall. And of course, I don't even necessarily have to do the Philippines. I should be able to just build a transport and hopefully sneak him into Hawaii and take that to get my last victory seed that I need to get. So, anyways, heading back over to Germany here. Because he's just crashed all his units in there, he's got no real enforcements. We're going to stack France from both of these. We're going to leave Northwest Europe open. We'll stack here, and we're going to take care of the rest here. So, I do have enough that I'm going to go ahead and build 2 bombers this turn. I'm going to continue to increase my bomber fleet, and enough units just to fill into the front up here. that attack, though. Here's be all of our attacks. Why did my dice animation start? That has been on forever. I wonder if I went offline. Huh. Well, still appear to be recording, and it's on, whether it's offline or online, we'll still keep going. I probably could play this more efficiently somehow or another, but and start blitzing these tanks over here, but I don't see any real reason. I'm getting lazy again, but just overprotect our homeland. Oh, I meant to move the 2 infantry, not the artillery. Oh well. Yep. Alright, coming into Japan 8 here. Again, we're just going to continue to play smart. UK is starting to get a little bit low on money. He's able to buy 2 fighters and infantry and artillery, so he only just moved the 1 infantry this time for taking the 2. So presumably, maybe the Americans are going to come up here and take these 2. Would be what I would do if I was him, but I'm not him, so we'll see what he does. Or maybe he'll come down to Africa too. He does maybe want to start thinking about that. So, in any case, it is Japan's turn, so we will blitz our tank around. We will destroy his fleet, and at this point, I am going to go ahead and get a transport and a loaded carrier up. You know, we talked about that grid on attack and defense power, but what we also mentioned is that fighters can attack both land and water, and sea. So going to the carrier, although just slightly lower on the defensive value, will allow me to get ready to assault the islands. And so I'll be building up transports and topical fleets at this point, as I should have enough subs left over sitting down here to still dead zone 48 to anything he can build, plus with what I get going here. I didn't do all the math. Hopefully I have enough. Hopefully the dice roll well. Regardless, I can't build him in 60 because I'm going to have just 1 loaded carrier, and all 4 of his fighters will be able to reach me because these are going to land on Borneo. They'll be go 1, 2, 3, build a carrier, 4, and these guys of course can land. So I have to put him either in C Zone 62 or in India. I think I'm going to go with C Zone 62 because then I can go to Alaska and I can threaten Hawaii and West USA at that point, which he'll need to go ahead this turn really to build in West USA to stop me, I believe. So, in any case, that's the plan. Grab us our money there. Wipe out these guys. And that's going to be it. 6 hits. Nice. That takes care of them in one. Oh. Ugh. Oy. Well, anyways. It's dead, it's done. 9 subs sitting there, plus a carrier and 2 fighters. That's 12 units. Should have this pretty well dead zone, even if he puts 2 carriers and a battleship there for that matter. Continue our migration down. And there we go. Alright, Germany 9. I'm going to be building 11 infantry and artillery. Going to continue to build up my air force. I chose a bomber fighter just because that allows me still to build 12 ground plus the fighter up here in the front. I'm going to fill all 13 spots this turn, mainly because, again, he does have these 7 transports that he's going back, and he's going to have a fully 7 plus loaded transport over here. That's going to be coming. So we're going to have 14 units plus his, 3, maybe 4 transports if he chooses to build another UK transport, all hitting France next time. So, we're talking about turn round 10. So whatever I can build now is what we're going to be using to try to stack France and Berlin. It may be the fact that we may have to not stack. We'll see. I imagine we'll have more than enough units to do all that. But that's the plan. So the U.S., obviously, he built more ground for here. And he built some ground for the Philippines, which is not unexpected. What did he? Yeah, just put the 3 infantry there. So it's going to take me a few turns as he puts 3 units per turn in here. I got to build up enough transports and air to eventually take that out. I'm going to leave 2 of my bombers here. I'm going to use 2 bombers to bomb the factory. The other one's going to fly back if no one gets hit. If one gets hit, then one stays. We're going to keep 2 here to keep bombing this so that if he does want to fill it, he's going to have to pay for it too. To hopefully speed this up. I did realize I probably should have put the transport down here with an artillery, and I could have sacrificed it to just take Borneo sooner, which would be a good idea. I didn't think about it back in last turn. Not a big deal. So that is where we are sitting at now. So, talking about dead zoning and whatnot. So he's got 5 infantry and 3 artillery here. I'm going to pull up, see if I get the calculator still up. Yep. So this is a case, again, I don't really like his tactic of just trying to make me trade and expect much out of it, because I'm building potentially 13 units a turn over here, and he can build really 6 and then occasionally a few more over here with the US. So he's already losing just because of the build battles facts. So now he's got 5 infantry, 3 artillery that he put into a dead zone. I can send 5 infantry, 2 artillery, and my 3 air and have an 81% chance of wiping him out at profit. So he's actually losing a unit in this trade as well. He's getting 2 IPC, but losing an extra infantry, or in this case artillery. So it's actually a net negative loss for him. Plus he's already at a loss of builds, so it's one of these cases where it's just not advisable to go into the dead zone. Especially when he's not giving me other targets to hit, so I might as well send everything at him. Only sending the two because it hopefully only takes two to wipe it out, and that this still leaves me the opportunity to fly the one back if neither of them get hit. We'll see if he keeps spending money there or not. Obviously, I've got a major income advantage at this point. I've got positional advantage. Um, it's just a matter of finishing this game out. But I'm choosing to be smart about it now instead of trying to rush things. Hey, there we go. There we go. And I'm just prepping all this up for if he ever does decide to send some units. I'll have a couple infantry, a tank, and then I'll have all my bombers that will be able to strike anything that he wants to send this way. Although he's not showing any indication of caring about Africa at all, so not sure that that's going to matter. Um, I forgot to calculate, so I'm not going to keep the video going. But I'm just going to figure out what I need to keep this and start moving some more infantry down. And then I also believe now I needed 12 here. And since we had that leave, we can move 6 guys in there. That'll give me 12 in each one. And I think that's enough to, against his 6 ground, 3 air, and a cruiser, that I can dead zone both of those. This turn, so you can't even trade those. So he's going to have to take his UK back up this way or take a crack at my 24 units I'll have sitting in 28, however many is I'm going to have here. So obviously this is going to be stacked as well. I could move extra units into these if I wanted to, but just going to be safe. Alright, here we're coming into Japan's turn. I guess real quick to jump back to UK. He bought 4 infantry, artillery, and a fighter. So he's still using his 3. He went ahead and attacked Karelia this time. Resulting in him killing 5 of my infantry, losing 3 infantry, 3 artillery. So again, still a net win for me. US can't follow it up. And I can always bring these guys, and I'll have 12 infantry back there next turn. Or I could blitz tanks back there, so we will get that re-solidified without too much issue when it comes their turn. Otherwise, they moved this fighter down here. I don't really know what his plans with that fighter are, but the reason I've been moving these Germany men down is to help me out. So Japan will blitz. Germany will stand on top of them so that he can't kill my Japan tank, and we'll continue to grab IPCs while we can. So yeah, so that's the plan down there. So back to Japan's turn here. We should have a round 10 VC win. I'm saying this so hesitantly again, but I'm going to move to 59 with my carrier and transport with a artillery. That'll give me an infantry artillery, these 2 fighters. Plus I'm building a carrier with 2 fighters and a destroyer here. And we will have the ability to attack Philippines. These 4 fighters can't reach 59. They could hit 60, but I'll have numbers. We'll have the ability to attack unguarded Hawaii, which would give us the victory seeded that we're looking for. Or we could go to West USA or Alaska, depending on what he allows. We're going to move these 9 subs over to C-Zone 44 so that we can continue to dead zone C-Zone 48, but they can also dead zone C-Zone 56 along with the 4 fighters and carrier. That would be able to reach 56, so he can't really build anything, or at least it'll be costly to build anything here the next turn. So that's the plan. 2 fighters, destroyer, carrier. Only real attacking we're doing is continuing to collect up our money there. No other attacks. Just in case he takes a pot shot at these guys, I'd rather keep the carrier if possible. And that's it. Alright, so US did hit my fleet I built in 60. The 4 fighters are dead. My fleet's dead. Doesn't matter. He built a bunch of troops over here. Doesn't matter. We got Pearl Harbor. He can't take it back. That'll take me up to my 9 victory cities as long as I can hold on to everything else. So coming over here, that means we've got 3 UK transports. We got to protect Karelia, Berlin, 3 plus the 7 coming from US. They got some cruisers and some fighters in there. I did the calculating. I believe I got everything set up so that it's a 0%, 0%, and less than 0.1%. So we hopefully are okay here. So just be safe, buying 12 infantry, continue my bomber builds, and we'll go with it. Nothing to attack up there, nothing to attack down here. So really the bombing raid is it. You know what? Just because I feel like being fun. I hate having nothing to do. I end up losing one of my territories because of that. I will shoot myself. No, just kidding. Not really. I shouldn't say that. I apologize. Oh, he's going to hit one of them. But we destroyed it. That should give me plenty. And hopefully that should seal the game. Okay, so UK simply went up here to Finland. So this should be game over. 8 of 9 victory cities. Japan takes Pearl Harbor. That gives me 9. They 7 infantry, 7 artillery can't kill 40 people. So, and I see nowhere else they can do anything. So I believe this is game. I'm still just going to go ahead and build my 4 transports, a bomber, artillery, just in case to get ready to assault Philippines and Borneo. But this should be it. Gonna pull them into here because this allows me to have them attack Philippines or Alaska or West USA with the fighters. Um, and we're just gonna leave them there. Again, I believe this is all, oops, unneeded play, but I still do it just in case I goof something somewhere because, well, it's not beyond me to do that. There we go. That should be game. We'll get the victory screen hopefully after this. So there you have it. As expected, that should have sealed the victory. So, lessons from this game. Uh, I'm happy to come out with a win. I did not play a very good game. Uh, not so good dice at wrong times, but also some just silly mistakes by me with not moving all the units in round one and trying to force a VC and taking a little bit riskier battles and trying to end the game early and just some arrogant play. Made this game drag out a lot longer than it should have. Um, so, it's a re-lesson to me. Just don't take things for granted. Play the game. Play the smart move. Don't try to force things when they're not needed. So, in any case, it was a learning experience. I don't think we really got a true feel of the tank rush on it. I will have to reattempt tank rush again another day. But for now, this is the end of this one, and see you at the next game.